Madison, kind of a slight fellow, not very big, but a statesman and a communicator of extraordinary talent. We know that he was actually the individual who introduced the concept of a Bill of Rights for inclusion in the Constitution, and we also know that he, along with his fellow politicians, heard and paid heed to the American public when they said that they wanted a system of checks and balances built into our government. We know the first three articles provide for an executive, a legislative, and a judicial branch of government so that power does not lie solely in one individual or even one entity. So they paid attention to the American public. Now, as I mentioned, a communicator of great talent. We know that George Washington was elected this nation's first president, and upon being sworn in, he decided he should provide some sort of address, thus the birth of the inaugural address. But he didn't necessarily feel that he maybe had all the right words, so he turned to Madison and said, "Hey, help me out here writing this inaugural address thing." And Madison said, "Absolutely, you're the boss, no problem." And even though it's the shortest inauguration speech in history, it lasted all of 10 minutes, it totally moved the Congress. So much so that they decided they needed to respond to the inaugural address. Well, they turned to Madison and said, "Hey, help us out with some of your cool words and we'll put forth our response." And when they presented their response to the nation and to the president, he was blown away. So much so that he wanted to respond to the response to the address, so he turned to Madison and said, "Hey, help me out with some more of those words." So a self-licking ice cream cone, if you will, from a communication standpoint, James Madison, one of our greatest founding fathers.